Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and welcome guests. When you hear our word geology, what comes to your mind? Hot springs, volcanoes, or gigantic Grand Canyon? This year, 2019, is a 150th anniversary of periodic table by Mendeleev. About 10 to 15 years ago, my friend, he was a geologist, said something interesting. I have traveled to United Kingdom. That is the birthplace of geology. I have seen lots of interesting exposures, and I'm very much satisfied with my life I visited so far. Now, in astronomical observation, we can check the age of the universe and age of the Earth. So I decided to check the history of geology. Up until the medieval age to 17th century, people in the West believed Earth was 6,000 years old, based on the idea of creationism. But lots of people kind of speculating that idea. And in 1669, Danish scientist called Nicholas Steno, he articulated the idea of relative age relationships. If you have several different geological layers, which comes first and which comes next. And he proposed Steno's law, so now it is a basic knowledge about geology up until today, what is called stratigraphy, in Japanese, soigaku. The first Steno's law, if you have two layers, the layers on bottom older and top is newer. And second law of Steno's law, the principle of original horizontality. So they accumulate from the bottom to top A, B, C, D, and they change the direction, tilted, because of earthquake or volcanic movements. And the third principle, igneous rocks. You have a new layer from on top of each other, the old one A and on top newer one B. And if you have a volcanic eruption, the igneous rock Kasegan comes from the bottom, intrusion. So this igneous rock is newer than A and B. And the last one is the lateral continuity. If you have different formations, it's not only the 100-meter width, but they continue until it disappears, maybe 100 kilometers or maybe 10 kilometers. The next person I'd like to introduce is, he is the founder of modern geology, James Hutton. In 1785, he published a paper and his theory is the repeating cycle of geological activities like the seabed deposition, uplifting, erosion, and submersion. And his idea is uniformitarianism. So this is the geological process that operated in remote past are not different from the process happening right now. The process happened millions years ago or billions years ago also relate to the process right now. And he wanted to find evidence for that one. And he had traveled extensively on a field survey and find one place called Sika Point in Scotland. So this is a place I'd like to visit sometime in the future. This is a very famous place. And the last person I'd like to mention is the William Smith. He is an engineer and also a geologist. In 1815, he published the first geological map in the United Kingdom. So this is Edo era in Japan. After that, in Japan, we had a major restoration in 1867. And In 1870s, we started inviting researchers from overseas to explore the possibility of coal mines in Japan, because of coal was very important as our industrialization in the country. In the 1870s, the government published the first geological map of Ezo, now current Hokkaido, and Geological Survey organization was founded in Interior Ministry. And last year, Geological Society in Japan celebrated 125 years. This is one of the biggest scientific society in the area of earth sciences. Geology is becoming more and more important. When you buy a land to build a house, where do you buy it? I'm sure you want to avoid flooded area or with steep slopes. They are afraid of landslide, or lower area afraid of erosion. Not only the development, you have more sightseeing resources. You are traveling by train or Shinkansen, you see a geological exposure. It is very fantastic. And in Japan, in Taiwan, you have lots of limestones. Limestone caves are very famous, especially Akioshidai Cave in Yamaguchi Prefecture, and in Kitakyushu, a famous place called Akioshidai. So if you have a chance, next time you get a train, try to see the right and left, especially on the coast. You have lots of interesting geological features. Thank you.